Okay, this solution is for the question number 3, where it states the mass of the bottle. Da, 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 da. Okay, so question 3. Now, this actually refers to the same bottle, I hope. Yeah, we are going to make sure that we have the understanding that it's the same bottle, okay? I can't draw a bottle very well, but let us use a triangle to represent the mass of the bottle, okay? The mass of the bottle together with the salt. When they say 7 out of 12, am I really going to draw 7 out of 12? No, I'm just going to write out 7 units. Okay, out of the 12, like that. Because if we want to cut, we have to end up counting them all over again. Okay, I'll write a fraction here. This salt plus the bottle weighs 402 grams. Next, second scenario. Is mass and now filled with 5 out of 8. Is the length of this bar exactly the same as the one I drew above? The answer is yes. Why? Because it's the same bottle, it means it has the same capacity. So we can draw the same length, okay, for the bar model. And it's 5 out of 8. So the total is 8 units. And this is 5, okay? Filled with salt. And the Chinese is going to write the ratio, the fraction here. Now, there is one concept called equalizing something. In this case, we don't call it equalizing something. There are basically a few concepts that we need to know. We can equalize the total, we can equalize the difference, we can equalize either the numerator or something else. There's usually something that we can equalize in order to solve a problem. Since these are talking about two similar bottles, we can actually equalize the denominator, okay? Can equalize the denominator because it's about the same bottle. So by now, P4, you should have find out what is lowest common multiple. So what's the lowest common multiple of 12 and 8? Lowest common multiple, So that means is to multiply them by numbers so that they become the same, okay? I hope you are thinking about the number 24, okay? Because that's the lowest one, okay? Because you have to multiply by 2, okay, multiply by 2 to let it be this one also must be by 3, and this side might multiply by 3. This numerator comes about after you have equalized the denominator, right? That means if you convert the whole units, the total units here, into 24 and 24, it's very easy to compare already. Meaning, instead of looking at 7 out of 12, compared to 5 out of 8, you are very confused because they are totally different set of fractions. It's just like a Korean and an Indian person trying to communicate with each other. They cannot understand each other unless you teach both of them English, okay? So this equalizing is just like teaching both the Korean and Indian English, then they can communicate, okay? So after converting both to 24 as the denominator, we understand that we'll take the top one as 14 units and 15 units accordingly. Okay. They ask, okay, what's the mass of the bottle when it is 5/6 full of salt? Okay, so now for this 5/6, are we able to convert to the same denominator of 24 again? The answer is yes, because it's the same bottle. Okay, so we are going to convert again by multiplying by 4, and the top multiplying by 4 is 20. Okay, so they want us to know if it's 20 units, what is the mass? Okay, so let me slide it up a bit. Let's use the first one then, okay? the first one, what's the mass of these 14 units? The mass is 402 grams. So when it's 14 units full of salt, it is 402 grams. But we want to find 20 units full of salt. So how many more units to go? Okay, compare 14 to 20. How many more units must we add on? Okay, we need to have 6 more units added, right? So how to find the value of the units? Okay, here goes. This will compare the first one and the second one. The mass of the first scenario is 402 grams. The mass of the second scenario is 420 grams. Can we subtract these two numbers, these two masses? Yes. And when we subtract these two masses, what do we find? Okay, what are we looking for? When we take 420 grams to minus 402 grams, this triangle, the bottle, mass of the bottle will cancel with the mass of the bottle. Then the mass of these 15 units of salt will cancel with the 14 units of salt, leaving us with 1 unit of salt. So 1 unit of salt, okay, I'm not going to write a whole sentence. So 1 unit of salt, you can find out the mass by taking 420 to minus 402 grams equals to 18 grams. Okay, so earlier on we realized that if we compare the first diagram, which is this 14 units, to compare with 20 units, which is what we are looking for, we just need to add on another 6 out of 24 of the salt by taking 18 grams times 6. Okay, that would be to find out the amount of salt to add on. Okay, so 18 times 6, I think 18 times 6 is 108 grams. Okay, this one is the extra 6 out of 24. And when we take this 108, which is the 6 unit, to add it to 402, we can find out the mass required by the question. Okay, so that will be 510 grams. Okay, so let's repeat. This 402 is the bottle, together with 14 out of 24. Okay, look at that, 14 out of 24. And this 108 would be the 6 out of 24. So put them together, that would be, okay, this part don't need to write in the presentation. Teacher Eunice just want to write this down for you to understand. So when you add these two together, you will find that is the bottle plus 20 out of 24, okay, which this is the 5 out of 6 of the glass bottle. Okay, confusing because this one is more of a higher order. Usually in examination, this will be the more difficult one because the denominator is different. Alright, so you need to equalize the denominator a little before you can make full use of the before you can utilize the unitary method for this.